Well, I'm back and the part has come in. That's the part number, should you need it. And there's our replacement actuator. Now the challenge will be just putting it in. One of the first issues I'm running into is this wire loom is just in the way. So I think I'm gonna clip this zip tie off and see if it will get out of my way. But the old actuator is still installed. So in order to get it out of the way, let's see if we can make our lives easier here. Quite a bit more room. Now we can get a better look at what we're doing. It also just occurred to me that what I should also probably do is unplug the old one here. Of course, you're going to have to do that anyway, obviously, but what I'm getting at is I should probably test the new one. Let's get in a better position here. Just plug this new one in and give her a go. Oh wait, helps if you put it in the right direction, doesn't it? Fun doing it with one hand. Get it lined up. There we go. Okay. Now, let's try our modes. Let's see if our actuator actuates. Look at that. That's what we want. All right. Okay, so now the next question is, how is this thing attached? Is it just a hook on the back of this thing? Let's see if we can turn it around and get a look. Oh, okay, good. So that's gonna be pretty easy, ain't it? Okay, the issue that I'm having putting the new one on is simply that this hole is ever so slightly smaller than the one on the original. So it's not just slipping on over that that rod as easily as the old one did. And also I should note the motor in this, the little electric motor that runs this actuator, is still hot. I've just taken it out. I can feel it. It's probably just jammed up or something. But this thing is still pretty warm. So anyway, it was easier just to buy a new one rather than try to disassemble the old one. I think I've read on the forums some people that disassembled them and fixed their old ones. It probably would have been a heck of a lot cheaper, but I opted to go the easy route. So anyway, I'm gonna measure the size of this hole. Actually, I may just get a drill bit and just drill this one out. Don't have to get too precise, do we? Okay, so here's what I've learned. I would really recommend, now this is actually the new part, but I'm going to show you hopefully in a pretty quick video. how easy this actually should be to swap out. Now they say to do all this while it's up in defrost mode, but I've learned that after doing this for an hour and a half, fighting this thing, let's move this thing down so you can see this, where the rod attaches to the door mechanism, it just pops out. So I'd say just pop that sucker out, make your life easier. And this just comes off of there. Well, let's do this. This is actually the new part. I've got it set to the front vents right now, and that moves this arm down. So let's show you the advantage of that. Let's turn this thing around. Okay. Let's clip this thing in so that we can actually use it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so here's defrost. There's defrost, but the problem with that, whenever you're trying to do things, is I got the body of the actuator in the way. So for me anyway, it was easier to switch this thing over to the front vents, and the actuator moves over. I just did that, and it moved before you got a chance to really see it. Let's switch it back to front. See? Now it's moved down where the body is about as far out of the way as we're going to get it. So let's get back down here. I'm going to unplug this so that it doesn't move. I'll save that for last, plugging it back in. Here I am, right-handed, trying to do it left-handed. There, okay. Now here's the other funny thing. This thing was a devious little thing because I didn't know how it works. I'm sure there's plenty of other guys out there that are like, oh, you're so silly, this is so simple. It is. It's deceptively simple. But this will not just push back in, even though it pulls out really easy. So what you have to do, get something to pry this open. Nope, I have to drop it. Prop this thing up where you can see what we're doing. Okay, so this is a little, come on, focus. Everybody wants to see what this looks like. Come on, there we go. On the wrong, oh, it's on the right side. Okay, slip something in here to pop this open. And make sure you pay attention to where it's set at. But took my little thing off of the rod. Now, off the rod, and put that back up here. Let's see, flip that back in. It would be nice if that focused. Okay, anyway, might have to pull it down. There we go. I've got it blowing on the front vents, so that just pops right in there, and it's open, so I can put the rod in, flip it in. So the rod actually just goes straight in like that. See, and this faces the driver, so when the whole thing's in, it'll actually be kind of that direction. So let's get back in here. go one of two ways. Actually, so that's kind of how that's going to align. Let's get this in the right spot here. Clip it in. Alright. Now this whole thing. Am I focused? I bet I'm blurry. Yeah, sorry about that. It's so close to my face, it's hard for me to tell if it's blurry or not. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now I'll just screw it in and then flip it in, or plug it in. Actually, I guess I can go ahead and kind of plug that in now, huh? Route that up there. Will I be able to plug it in with one hand? No, I'm going to need two hands to do it, but I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so there we go. Actually, I was trying to put it in one-handed and trying to put it in backwards, so I couldn't even see that in the dark. And I've got her screwed in, and we're done. Really, the wire loom is out of the way still, so I need to... Actually, that's not going anywhere. I don't even see the point zip tying that back in place, but you can zip tie it back up. And that's pretty much it.